Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2019. We are starting a new adventure, and our new adventure, as you've probably guessed from the thumbnail, is going to be in Bulgaria with Botev Plovdiv. I've probably pronounced both of those words wrong, but don't worry, because there's plenty of time for me to get things even more wrong later on. We are not currently the manager of Botev Plovdiv. Obviously, in real life, the season has finished. I have not got an updated database, partially because I don't know what's happened in Bulgaria, and I kind of want the game to just play itself. I don't want to use an updated database, and because I'm not playing in England or in any of the really big leagues, everyone really knows all the transfers that have gone on, I don't think it's going to make too much difference. What we are going to do, however, is we're going to holiday an entire season and see what happens to our team, see if any players leave. I know for a fact quite a lot of the most important players at Botev Plovdiv only have a year left on their contract in-game. I'm hoping their current manager makes sure that they don't release them at the end of the season. And we are back. It is now the 1st of June 2019. The Bulgarian League season has been finished, and we can now go and see where our team, Botev Plovdiv, have finished. I hope they finished in a Europa League spot. Now, I checked before the start of the save, before I went on holiday, where they were expected to finish last season. It was 5th. So, I think if they finish 4th or above, they get Europa League. Well, good news is, they haven't been relegated as they're not involved in any of this mess. Championship, that's the one, right? Is that what we were after? Is that the whole league? I mean, it might be the whole league. I don't know. Anyway, 3rd place. And I'm assuming that EC means Europa League, which is perfect. Top 6 then, CSKA Sofia finishing down in 6th place. Right, the Bulgarian First League is a little bit complicated. It's not too complicated, it's a bit complicated. So, 26 games in the preliminary phase of the season. Botev Plovdiv finished in 5th place in that, just 1 point behind Slavia Sofia. It then goes to the championship stage, where they finish 3rd. If you finish in the bottom, it's not even 6, is it? Bottom 8, I think that is. You go into a relegation stage with groups. Okay. And then I'm assuming if you qualify from your groups, what happens now? You're not in this? Maybe? So 4 teams went in that. It's Sofia, Vareja, them, and Cherno more. Right, so I'm trying to get my head around this. So yes, so if you finish up there in the top of your groups, you don't go into the relegation play. Okay, finishing outside of the top 6 is complicated and I'd rather not do it. Okay then, let's add ourselves as the manager of Botev Plovdiv. We do have excellent youth facilities. That is something I did not even realise. And excellent training facilities. No data analysis, which who cares about data analysis? And I think we are building a new stadium. I think. I'm not quite sure. Just going to tick these. I always go for motivator because that's one thing that I'm really bad at. So I just get my character to be the best at that in the game. Here we go then. Earlier on in the episode I did mention that a lot of players had contracts expiring. I don't know whether they've technically expired or they expire on the 30th of June. I'm not quite sure, but I'm hoping they've been sensible enough to actually offer new contracts to some of the players. Transfer obligations. So in a number of days, we're going to be signing Filipov. No, we're not. He's getting sold to Alki. Fair enough. Nedelchev is going to be joining on a free transfer. Some guy called Serigu Bus is also joining on a loan in the future. Okay. And a couple of players are leaving on loan deals as well. Right, let's look straight away at our squad and what we have. I always sort by potential because I know that, like I said, they have a very good youth facility, so I'm going to assume they've got some very good youth players. And by the looks of it, they do have some very good youth players. Our star player, without a doubt, is going to be Todor Nedelev, 26 years old now, Bulgarian international. He's spent some time at Mainz in Germany, didn't do particularly well by the looks of it. Got loaned back, I believe, to Botev Plovdiv, and then we've re-signed him. I don't understand why they're separate, because there's no gap between these two. So yeah, Todor Nedelev is here. 4.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential. He is our best player by a country mile. We also have Congolese striker Fode Dore, or maybe Fode Dor, something along those lines. He is a pressing forward and a target man. 4 star current and 4 star potential. He's not the best at finishing for strikers, which isn't great. He's a big lad, 6'4", loves to argue with the officials, plays with his back to goal. Maybe that's why he's not good at finishing. Maybe he passes it off to a Todor Nedelev, and Nedelev's the one that scores the goals, because he looks to pass rather than score. You might be my perfect striker. Good news as well, our goalkeeper, who had his contract expiring at the end of the season, has extended his deal. Daniel Kaiser, maybe? Kaiser? I'm assuming it's Kaiser. It's going to be a soft J, isn't it? He's signed a new contract. He is our third best player at 3.5 star potential and current ability. I think he's quite good. For this level of football, I think he's a very good goalkeeper. Obviously, one of my goals for this save is to make this level of football a lot better. So in a few years' time, he might not be quite good for this level of football. Vasil Shopov is another player who I think looks very good for this level of football. 3.5 star current and potential ability, 27 years old, attacking midfielder, and also a central midfielder. We might use him more in that central midfield position because we do have, as far as I'm aware, a lot of attacking midfielders. So Shopov might be dropping back to be a normal central midfielder. Our best defender is Radoslav Terziev, 3.5 star current ability, 4 star potential, so there's a little bit of room for improvement there. 24 years old currently, doesn't have any caps for Bulgaria. Again, looks like a decent footballer for this level of football. I'm not going to go through every single player in the Botev Plovdiv team, I'm just going to go through some of the main players. Antonio Vutov is up next, a 22-year-old attacking midfielder who has a lot of potential behind him, also 3.5 star current ability. I think Vutov might be one of our key players. And finally, we will have a look at Lashezar Baltanov, who is a central midfielder. He looks very good. He's, I would say, the old man of the team, 30 years old. He's not the oldest, but he's certainly getting up there. He has got some wonderful mental stats. 17 bravery, 17 determination, 18 leadership. He is probably our captain, isn't he? We do have a lot of young players as well. I don't know whether we've signed anyone looking at it. We've signed a lot of people, although all of that lot were there before the save started. So we've signed Madibu Dembele, who he's okay. He's transfer listed. Okay, he's not okay. Chigozie Emmanuel Mba, who is a 21-year-old right midfielder, who is, he's not great, is he? He might have some potential, but probably not. And Sergiu Bus, who is a Romanian target man. He played 9 games off the bench for us last season, scoring 1 goal. He's on loan. He's got 29 days until his loan deal is up. Honestly, Sergiu, we're not extending your loan deal. Also, we did sell some players. Ivan Vasiliev, who is an 18-year-old striker who I would not have sold if that was me in charge of the team at this point, because mentally he's very good. Physically, he's also pretty good. Technically, he's got a bit of work to do, but he's 18. And a couple of players have also left the club on loan deals. Right, next up, let's have a look at finances. It's not the best, is it? 140,000 in the bank. Okay, every month we seem to make a loss, which is somewhat understandable. We've got a tiny-ish wage budget, 82,000. It's actually better than I thought. I was expecting to have no wage budget, transfer budget, sorry. We can push it up to 138. Or we can get our wage budget to nearly 20,000. I think we're probably going to go towards the wage budget end, aren't we? Okay, our under-18s have some very good-looking footballers here. 2 15-year-olds. Alexander Mladenov, who is a right midfielder, who looks pretty good for a 15-year-old. And Dorbin Bachkov, who is an attacking midfielder, who I might repurpose to be a central midfielder. Problem is with him, he doesn't have any good attacking skills or defending skills. So I don't know what the best way to go is. Vision is his standout ability, so is technical. So maybe retraining him up as a Mazzala maybe in the middle might be the way to go. Now the plan for this save, now that we are finally at the club, is to try and make Bulgaria a better league. It's also, obviously we do want to be qualifying for Champions League and doing well in those competitions. We also want to be winning the Bulgarian league. Because Botev Plovdiv, as far as I'm aware, I haven't done a huge amount of research on them. As far as I'm aware, they're not the best of teams. Like recent history, they've been a bit up and down. Since the 2000s, they've been a bit up and down. They've kind of worked their way up now into being like a normal Bulgarian First League side. But I want to start winning some cups, some leagues. I want to be getting in the Champions League, the Europa League, things like that. I also want to be able to make the Bulgarian First League one of the best leagues in the world, which is going to be tough because if you look at the list, We are 27th on that list, sandwiched in between Serbia and Azerbaijan. There is a long way to go. People would rather play in the second division in Spain and the Bundesliga, so we need to really kind of start climbing that. And I'm hoping, I haven't actually seen this. How well have people done in the Europa League and Champions League this season? Not great. 17.75, which means those 3 teams are going to jump ahead of us. They're going to jump ahead of us as well. Okay, we are going to be dropping down. We've done better than Romania. It's not been a good year for us in terms of European football. We are going to be moving into a new stadium at the end of next year. We are currently playing at Football Complex Botev 1912, which I assume is our training ground, because it's a very small stadium, just over 3,500 capacity. We are moving to the Hristo Botev on the 1st of June 2020, so that's a year away. However, in the Europa League, we're playing here at the Todor-Diev, which is a 5,000-seater stadium, which I assume we play there because we need that for the Europa League, don't we? It's owned by Spartak Plovdiv, there you go. We've got one affiliate club in Martissa, who are down in the 3rd Southeastern League, maybe? I'm assuming they're not very good because they're an amateur side. Just taking a look at some of the contracts, and it actually looks like everyone who had a contract expiring has either signed a new one or left the club, which is good, although that is just the first team. We have a weird under 19s and an under 18s. We don't have reserves, which I don't quite understand. So yeah, there is no one whose contract's expiring in the next few days, which is perfect, apart from maybe this man, who he's not terrible. Do we give him a new... He played for Litex, 13 games, scored 1 goal, got an assist. I might give him a new deal, just a season. Some things to also take note of about the Bulgarian First League. So, we played 26 matches in the preliminary phase, and then another something amount of matches later on in the championship phase, which, can we change that to be the championship? Yeah, so 36 in total we end up playing. If we finish in the top, if we finish in the bottom, which I assume if we go to there? No, I don't know. Anyway, if we play a lot of matches, is what I'm trying to say. There is also rules about non-EU players. So in the matchday squad, this is in the entire 18, I think it is. You're only allowed to have 3 non-EU players. You can have 5 registered altogether. So we do need to keep an eye on this, but it is EU. It's not Bulgarian players, it's non-EU players. So it's something that we can look at, because we do also have this man here. He is from France, so he's fine. Fodor is not from France. He needs to reside... Why are you not French? Just go on holiday to France for a week. Get your paperwork and come back. So looking at this here, we have Mba, who is Nigerian. We've got a couple of Brazilians as well, Ebert and Jonathan. We've also got Dore, who is also going to be non-EU. So we're in okay shape at the moment. I'm going to try and shift some of these players on. Obviously, I haven't gone and looked at every single player at the moment. But looking at this, there's some players, like this man, who is a 33-year-old goalkeeper, who probably needs to get sold. Nishev, who is already transfer listed apparently, needs to get sold. Got some good youngsters there, which we don't want to sell. This man, who joined the club earlier on in the save, we need to get rid of. He played 12 games, and they want to sell him. Fair enough. That is probably going to do it for this initial episode. It's probably a fairly quick one, but it's just like a little introduction to what we're going to be doing here with Botev Plovdiv. The next episode will be the start of the season, so I'm going to go all the way through pre-season. I'm going to introduce you to any new transfers that have taken place, and I'm hoping there will be some transfers, and hopefully we can get our season off to a flying start. And we do also have the Europa League. When do we enter the Europa League? When does that happen? Also, Liverpool won it. Well done. Good job, you. So I don't know what level we actually enter. It could be as early as the 22nd of August. Maybe. I don't know. We will find out. We can find out now. Right. We get 2 teams in Q1 and 1 team in Q2. So I'm assuming we're going into Q1, which might be on the 11th of July or thereabouts. Obviously, this is last season, so it might be very, very soon that we're going to be entering into the Europa League. That's a worry. That is a very, very big worry. So that is going to do it then for this episode. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Hopefully you are intrigued to see what's going to happen with me and Botev Plovdiv. Hopefully I'm not going to get sacked after a season. If that happens, I don't know what I'm going to do for my next save. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, if you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button and I'll be back with the start of the Bulgarian First League, or whatever it's called. It is the Bulgarian First League. In the next episode, whenever that's going to be. Probably tomorrow or the day after.